Midnight Muses here, doing a makeup video today, and I'm doing what I think is a really fun idea. Not an original idea by any means, something that I've been seeing popping around YouTube for at least the last year now, which is the whole shop your stash kind of thing. So I'm going to do that. Actually, first, before I really jump into that, I am going to just moisturize my face a little bit. I'm still using the Sunday Riley cream. My skin does seem to be reacting to it better finally now. I'm not getting quite so much acne, so that's good. And then while I look for a primer, then I'll give it a moment to kind of set in so that everything's good. The only thing that I'm going to use that's like current to my makeup regime is going to be my foundation, just because the reason why I changed my foundations is to do with my skin tone as opposed to whether it's old or new. I can't really afford to just put a foundation aside if there's a bunch in it left unless it's no longer a match. And then as my skin changes, I go back and forth between new and old ones. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep using the CoverGirl True Blend matte for the moment because that's what's working for my skin tone right now. But other than that, everything is going to be old stuff. I'm sure that some of it's going to be expired. So maybe I don't recommend doing this at home depending on how old your makeup is. I have tons and tons of makeup. While I may have only been doing YouTube for a year and a half, I have been a makeup artist for many, many years. I've been a professional makeup artist for like something like 11 or 12 years now. So I have quite the extensive stash. The only thing I didn't pull out was my special effects because I don't need that. I actually have a whole, like 2 bins next to me. I've got stuff over there. I've got a whole bunch of stuff lined up in front of here. I'm just trying to figure out where I might have extra primers. I think that might be this guy here, which is just, I just have so much makeup everywhere. Thank me later eyeshadow primer. No, that's not what I'm looking for. What's this? There we go. We got some Smashbox Photo Finish. I can't remember the last time I used this. So let's jump into it. The one thing that I will say that I'm happy about doing this is, oh, that's weird. I think it might be a little bit on the old side. It's a little bit more watery than it usually is, but that's okay. Oh, the mirror's moving a little bit. Let me just fix that. Yeah, I probably should have used this by now. This is not really supposed to be a watery primer. It's supposed to be a very, like, silicone-y, kind of, like, hide your pores. I'm curious as to how my foundation's gonna go over it. But what I was saying that I'm happy for is that I did recently, do a little bit of an overhaul of my makeup collection. I have my more daily use stuff on the table that, like, I'm always filming. There's a table in front of me. You can't see it, but there is one right here. And I have my daily stuff on there, and then I organized my drawers in a bookcase out in the hallway with my stuff that I still like to wear but don't use as often, or things that I haven't tried out yet and still need to open and try. I am not going to open any new things at the moment, just because the things that I don't have open are things like mascaras and eyeliners, which I open up one at a time so that I don't overuse them and go through them quickly, because as I said, still gotta watch those dollars, still trying to do the whole find a job thing. I've got my feelers out, hoping that something works out, but either way, even if I get a job, as I said, you know, working on getting married, getting a home, kind of uprooting my life as it were, things that I'm probably not going to have a bunch of spare money for is buying makeup, especially makeup that's repeat makeup that you need to get all the time that I have in abundance. Why not continue with that track as opposed to just spending frivolously on things like that? And I've gotten I actually really like that I've kind of taught myself to like more buy as needed, and I really, really love that I have my subscription boxes, because I do still have that, oh, just got brand new makeup, feels so awesome, like it's so great, surprise new things, new unexpected things. I love that. And then all I had to do is essentially replace my foundation, and sometimes brow, sometimes not brow, and that's usually it. I usually get like everything else, like powders, my skincare, everything. It's been wonderful. Alright, so for powders, I'm going to ignore everything Kat Von D. I do still have some of those products. I'm not going to use them on camera. I'm not getting rid of them until they're done because I spent really good money on them, and I like the products themselves, but as I'm pretty sure at this point, just about everyone has said, not going to be repurchasing any of them, no longer supporting the brand. For a time, I was still using them on camera, saying that I was just using them up, but I'm not going to even be doing that anymore, just going to leave that stuff aside. But if you see it popping up if I show up a basket or something, yes, I have them. I'm finishing them, not repurchasing them. Don't support the brand. For powder, it's going to suck. Because all I have are like the super white flashback guys. I know the Sephora one is the worst of the two, so I'm going to jump into the Makeup Forever, I think the HD, yep, high definition powder, and try to use that as, oh wait, I haven't put on concealer yet. Ooh, I almost forgot concealer. I think it's because I know I don't have any good concealer to use. Oh, I think this is all I have. Do I have anything in here? That's concealer, no, more eyeshadow base, highlighter, all kinds of things. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's brow stuff. Damn. Okay, so, there's not really any point in using this, but I'm gonna use it anyway. So this is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous. I think I've tried this once, and once was enough because it had zero coverage, and I'm a light coverage kind of person. Like, I don't look for a lot of coverage. I'm gonna really stack it on to see if that will make a difference. Also, the doe foot applicator on this really sucks. It doesn't hold a lot of product on it, but not a fan of this guy. It disappeared. I remember when I first put it on and I went to blend it in and I was like, oh, where did it go? It's gone now. So let's see if by putting on an absolute ton of it, it will make a difference. No, it's not making a difference. Let's see if it brightens up slightly down here. I mean, no, not really. My under eyes look the exact same. You can still see that little bit of redness right there. I mean, I have the lights on so everything looks better with the bright lights on for filming, but as you can see, as I'm blending it out, it's making my skin look a little bit luminous, but any chance of coverage is gone. I don't even have to blend out any edges. It's just gone. Completely gone. My eyes look just like they did when I had my foundation on. So, actually, there's no point in keeping this. I don't know why. I think I was keeping it just in case I ran out of concealer, but then ColourPop had that sale and I bought 10, so I have concealer for years now, so I'm just gonna trash that. There's no point in even giving it away, honestly, because one, it's used, and two, I don't know anyone who doesn't want any coverage with their concealer. I'm in my 30s, most of my friends, if they're not in their 30s as well, or at least, reaching towards the late 20s, we want coverage in our concealer. We get things like dark circles when we don't sleep. We need coverage. That has absolutely zero coverage, and I just doused myself in white powder, and wow. This is also pretty awful. I don't know if you can see, suddenly my skin got a lot paler looking. This, for being a translucent powder, has quite the white cast on it. I feel like if it had color to it, I would actually probably like it because it does smooth out the pores and make the skin look just nice and smooth. But you can see that I've added white powder to my face. It makes my makeup paler. It's the weirdest thing. Not so great. Not a big fan. All right. Need to find a bronzer. I have a little pile up over here. I think these are bronzers. That's a highlighter. That's a highlighter. These are bronzers. Wow, I have a lot of random highlighters that I haven't used in ages. That's brow stuff. I don't know what you're doing in there. And you are... what are you? A highlight stick. Yeah, you're fine. Alright, so do we use Smashbox or Pixie? The Pixie's really reaching its last days. But you know what? I haven't jumped into the Smashbox in a really long time. I used to really, really love this. This is the Bronze Lights bronzer, and it's the Suntan Matte. There's a lot of different names on it. I used to love this. This was my favorite for the longest time. So let's give it a go and see why I stopped using it. Because I feel like with some of these products, I think I said in a previous video where it's, you know, you get all this new stuff, and so you immediately go to the new product and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna use this, it's great, it's new, I love it, and then you forget that you have these old products. And especially with a lot of these ones that I'm pulling out, this is, you know, pre-subscription box time, so this is stuff that I've bought myself. So it's like, why am I not using this product that I bought? And it is very used. Like, I don't know if you can, no, you can't, but it used to be like right up to the lid, and you can, it is quite deeply down in there now. It's not hit pan, but it's not far from. It's nice. It doesn't have as much color, but I don't know if that's because it's old. Oh, there we go. I really like shoved it in there this time. I think it's just because it's a little bit older. I had to kind of scrape off the top of the brush. Let me go back over here a little bit now, but it looks really nice and it looks natural. It's a good color. It's very cool toned. This is more of a contour color as opposed to like a classic bronze, but especially I think because we're going into winter and things are getting colder, I'm getting paler, my skin's getting more cool toned. For me, this is going to blend with my skin a lot better, and I think I need to like keep it out because it's so nice. Like, as I said, it's not as pigmented, but I, again, don't know if that's for age or whatnot. I have no idea how old this is. I don't think it's too old because I think it's from when I was working at my last job. I got it from there, so it can't be that old. And I mean, it is past the shelf life, I'm sure, because the shelf life is 2 years, and I've been getting subscription boxes for almost 2 years. If not about 2 years, so it's, you know, it's past its shelf life, but it's powder. I feel like powder lasts forever. Like, I'm not as picky with powder as I am with other things. That's eyeshadow. Let me see if I can find a blush in here. I haven't used it. I have a lot of eyeshadows. I think I have a blush here. Yeah, I think I have more than one blush here. Oh, I do. Okay, so time to play with options. Again, I'm just going to put this down next to me. So, we have the Tarte, and this is in Partey, and it's the Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush. That's this guy here. And the color, if I can open it, there we go. That's this guy here. This is like almost completely unused. I can see that I have used it. There are some brush strokes in there, but not many. It's a really nice color though. It's like a nice mauvey color. And then we have the NYX Ombre Blush. And this is in the color Sweet Spring. And this looks like this. You can kind of see it's like orange down here and pink up there. Like, it looks like it's faded. It's supposed to look faded like that. I think I might mix them and try them both out and see how I like them both. Let me put those guys over there. Alrighty. So, I know NYX blushes tend to be pigmented. These ones aren't as much. We'll see how that looks. I'm gonna just try this one and see. Oh, I think that's why I didn't like this one. It doesn't show up enough. Like, it's so subtle. It's pretty. It's pretty if you like that really subtle blush look. And I like my blush as bright as I like my highlighter, and I think that's probably my biggest issue. I'm going to put some of the NYX one over top. The NYX one I think is doing the same thing as the Smashbox, where I don't think it was this light when I first used it. But now that it's just been sitting for a while, I do remember getting this. This one's not as old as I think probably everything else in here, but there we go. That's better. That's really pretty. Again, like, why am I not using these? They're so nice. I love them, and yet they've been sitting in drawers or on my bookcase, because one shelf of my bookcase I have my bins of makeup, and then the other one I have a drawer that I have like folded like a bunch of these things in, all organized with makeup. So, all right, highlight. Highlight, I have a lot of options for highlight. I've always been a big kind of highlighty kind of girl. So I have this. I have this. Let me see. Anything in this drawer? No, that's more eyeshadowy stuff. I did say there was highlight over here. I remember that. Let's see what we got. Okay, this is technically a baked shadow from NYX, but I got it because it actually is a really pretty highlight, and that's Looks like that. It's kind of, it looks pinky, but it's actually quite champagne-y. I'm not going to use that one today, though. I want to jump between my older ones. So I have the MAC Norwegian Wood Sheer Shimmer Powder. I loved this. Now, before highlighter was a thing, this is what I highlighted with. Because, like, going to school and stuff, when we do bridal makeup, we actually are taught to highlight the skin, especially for bridal and for film, and that's what we use. I also have this guy here, which is the NYX Illuminator in Ritualistic. And then I have another NYX. I have the Duo Chromatic Illuminating Powder in Twilight Tint, which is this guy here. And this has a white / blue duochrome. I don't think I'm going to use this one. I am going to keep it out and about just because it's a great highlighter, and when I'm doing purposeful looks, this is perfect. Like that, the wet palette that I got from ColourPop, this is the highlighter to go with that palette because it's like that icy, frosty blue. It'll go really well with that. I think I'm going to go with the Ritualistic because that MAC powder really has to go, because I've had that since like my early makeup days when I was like in my late teens, early 20s, and I know powders last a lot longer, but that's too long. I used to love this highlighter though, and it's funny because this is actually my second one. I'd had one previous to this, and I used it all the way down to nothing, and it's funny because now I'm just like layering it on because I'm like, oh, I can barely see it. Like, it's pretty, but it's subtle, and I used to think it was so blinding. Like, man, my highlight game has changed, but it is like that really pretty, perfect for bridal highlight. So I think I need to remember that, because for my wedding, I want to be a little bit blinding here, but like I want this to be good. And in the way that I've been using that IBY, I feel like this would be a really good option, especially as I'm getting paler. I'm already starting to notice that the IBY one is getting a little bit dark for me, so I'm putting that aside to go in my daily box as well. I had a feeling that this might happen, that I'd be like starting to be like, ooh, actually I really like that. I like that. Okay, these are all good. Alright, I'm gonna pause for a sec just so that the camera like goes like normal. Okay, back again, and now we're into the fun zone, aka eyeshadow, and what I'm gonna do with my eyeshadow, because Lord knows I have so many. I'm gonna just put that on the side and pull up this to give you guys a little look-see at. These are where my palettes that I don't use on the regular go. And if you think this is bad, you should see the pile up of palettes that I actually have on my desk that I have for my daily use. It is insane. So I'm definitely going to jump into something that, again, on the older side that I haven't gotten recently. Like this I did get in a subscription box. And why is my Zodiac palette here? My Zodiac's supposed to be with my daily stuff. Go back over there. I've been looking for you. Okay. Outside of that now. So we have like the Fire palette from NYX. That could be a good option. I remember getting that and really liking it. I have these, which were like a Christmas specialty item. So I'll take a look at those because I remember really enjoying those. Oh, and we have a third. Nope. Oh, sorry. That's eyebrows. It's eyebrows. More NYX. I think there might be some mattes in here that I can use because I know going back into the older palettes, the one thing I'm not going to find a lot of is mattes. So that way I can hopefully build up a good look. Oh, I have the Art Pop. That's an oldie but a goodie. That's a contour palette. I probably could have pulled that out for other purposes. This really beautiful Lise Wache palette that honestly I bought because of how pretty the packaging was and with no care in the world as to what the actual products inside looked like. And then I have a Stila blue palette. So I think that's a good enough amount to kind of pop around between to see if we can find something that we like. So in here, oh, this is a totally matte palette. So this is what this looks like. So just in terms of using something out of the box that I haven't used in ages and I don't even know how they properly work, is I'm going to use this for my mattes. So I'll keep that here. Yeah, trying to not let things fall. There's so many of them. It's crazy. This guy, I have used this a bit. You can see there's like some digs in it. They're really soft shadows. They're really pretty. if I'm going for a more natural look, it's nice. The one thing that's frustrating with this is they are all shimmers. I think there's one matte in there, and that's this guy here, and it's too light to even be a transition. I don't understand what its purpose is. This guy is really nice, as well as the Avant Pop. It's really fun. Again, not as many mattes as I would like in terms of tones that I would like. There's only like these guys here that could be used as transition. This one again is another Les Wattier, which I bought because of the packaging. Like, they are so good with their packaging, especially when it comes to their limited stuff. That's these guys here. Again, every single shade in here is a shimmery frosted color, but they're really nice. They're really foiled. They are really pretty. I like using them as accents. I think it's just, I need to bring it out so I can use it more often. So I do think I can probably put this one down, especially since I'm finding nothing but cools. I think that a warm toned, mostly matte palette is probably not going to be what I need right now. And then we have Vancouver, which looks like this, which has two mattes in it that aren't bad. And then we have, what's this one? This one's London. Ooh, London's nice. I remember really liking London. But I'm wearing a cool toned outfit as well. It doesn't look like it. I just threw on this tank top because my room is warm, but I'm actually wearing a big black sweater and then like my workout leggings, which are blue with like silver sparkly stuff. And then I have the Fire palette from NYX, which looks like this. Again, doesn't really go with what I'm wearing. What I think I might do is actually possibly use some of these if I need a foil, and then stick between like these guys here. So I'm just gonna try and lay them out as nicely as I can to try and get a look going, and we'll see what we come up with between the palettes. I'm not necessarily going to use every single palette. I just, options. Who doesn't like options, right? I love options. Okay, so I think to start, and do any of these have shades on them? None of them have shades on them. So I'm just gonna point and apply. So I'm going to start with this guy here and maybe mix it with this one just to get a kind of base slash transition look going. And I'm just going to use my fair brush. I don't think any of these have numbers or names on them. They don't. So just a fluffy brush. I'm going to start with just the one that's like more in the center, just to see how that looks on its own before adding the other one. So these are actually still pretty pigmented. I do remember when I got this one as well. This is not new, and I have not used this enough for how expensive it was. This is, Stila palettes do not look like this anymore. Like, this is like old school Stila. And I was like, oh my gosh. That at the time when I first found these, this was like the most expensive brand that was easy for me to get to, because this is the time when we didn't have a Sephora in Oshawa, and the best that we had was going to our local drugstore essentially and hoping for the best, or going to the Bay and going through the cosmetic section. Like, we just didn't have the same options that we do now. All right, now I'm gonna, oh, they do have names. You can barely see them. They've mostly gone away. I think the color I was using, well, the second half of it says rain, but you can see that there was definitely a word in there before, so I don't know what kind of rain it was. And then I'm gonna jump into Driftwood to kind of deepen my transition a bit. Oh shoot, yeah, that's deepening it. This one is quite pigmented. The other one was not very pigmented, and it was kind of driving me a little bit nuts. This one is more pigmented than I thought it was, and is now a little bit darker than I was planning on going for my transition color, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. We will make it work. That's my favorite thing with doing any kind of eyeshadow look, is you do something, you mess up, like, it's very rare for me to actually wipe off my makeup and start again. I am far more prone to being like, all right, that's not quite what I thought was going to happen there, but you know what? We can do something with that. Let's add this or add that and figure it out. There we go. Okay, so I think that's all for that palette, just because I want to jump into as many as I can. I'm going to go into the Avant Pop and take a little bit of the deep black, just because there is a black in here, But if I remember correctly, it is extremely pigmented, and I don't want a very pigmented black. I want one that's a little bit lighter, so I can just kind of deepen as opposed to, like, really smoke it out. So tapping off as much as I can as well, and just, yeah, that's a lot lighter. I know that I can make this one like very deep if I want to, but that if you tap off a lot and kind of fluff it around, that it's gonna do what I want, which is just deepen out, because with the transition that deep, I'm kind of like, I have to do something a little bit smoky, otherwise it'll look weird, because I don't want the rest of my shadow to be lighter. Well, not that much lighter than my transition. Like, I always like to have my crease to be the deepest shade that I use. And then just a little bit. I'm like barely tapping in and then tapping off most of it. And then just putting a little bit under here. I will obviously let everybody know if I end up getting another sty in my eye, which happened before when I used, I think it was the Morphe palette, I'm not sure. But it's really funny because I ended up giving it to a friend and she loved it, was totally fine with it. I think, like, for me, just because I'm so allergenic, that something in their eyeshadows just did not jive with me and messed me up. I did also sterilize everything, obviously, of course, before giving it to her. And, you know, let her know that I wasn't sure if that's what gave it to me or not. And she's been totally fine. She loves it. She'll, like, send me pictures of her looks being like, look how great it is. And you just gave it up. And it's like, yes, I did. And I'm quite happy that I did so. But I'm very happy that you love it. So that was fun. But that's how I am with a lot of things. Like, a lot of the products that I give to people are things that I've gotten really bad irritation from and whatnot. I actually don't give away products that I just don't like very often because I'm pretty easy to please with makeup. I'm usually good with making anything work. I'm not a big fan of brown lipstick, and I don't wear pink lipstick. So if I get that, I'll usually pass it on pretty quick. Same with any kind of nail polish or shadow. Anything that's very pink, I'm usually pretty quick to pass on. But other than that, I usually keep everything and make it work. So people who get stuff from me, and they know, it's like, oh, this irritated the hell out of me. I didn't think I was allergic to it, but maybe there's something that's bothering me or my skin's too sensitive for it. That's how my friends get everything, and it's so funny. Okay, you know what? I don't think I'm going to use the really pretty Mother of Pearl palette because they just don't have the colors that I want. I want to use... Okay, these little things are annoying. I'm just going to dump them on my table so I can throw them out after because no one needs that. And there's a little mirror in here, so I'm going to use that. So I'm going to jump into these guys. I think I'm going to use a deep gray on the outer side for a little bit of shimmer. And then I'm going to jump into the more bluey toned kind of silvery one more along the inner. And I'm just going to apply them with my finger. Oh my gosh, I haven't taken the plastic off. I've used it and I've left the plastic in there. I don't know, I do weird things sometimes. These are so soft and creamy though. I really love these. This was a great purchase. I love Lise Watier. For anyone who lives in Canada, if you have not tried Lise Watier, I would definitely recommend them. They're a Canadian brand. Their stuff works really well. It is a little bit pricey, and I mean, some things obviously are going to be better than others. That's how it always is, but I really like quite a lot of their products. They work really nice. There we go. I like this just because it's a very blue silver. It's not a color that you see very much. It's like in that wet palette, that periwinkle, if you were to add shimmer, a little bit of silver, if I can speak, and then make it a lot lighter. It's like that. It's a very unique shade, and it's one that I have never seen before, which is my main reason for buying this palette. It's funny because this was a Christmas launch, and 2 palettes were released, and everybody wanted the other one because it was all like gold and plum. It was called like sugar plum something, and it had slightly different coloring on the top of it, and everyone wanted that because they all wanted to have all the gold and plums. I'm like, no, give me all the cool colors. I've always loved the cool colors. I'm going to take a little bit of the really sparkly silver guy, which is here. It looks purple. It's not. It's like another tone. I'm going to put it right in the middle. I don't think you're going to see it much, especially since I'm using the same finger that I just used the other color on, but I really just want it to blend and just have a slightly bigger pop right in the middle of my eyelid, which I don't think it's really capturing on camera very much, but it is in person, you can definitely see that I've added that kind of like halo silver center. So that's awesome. What's this? Oh, yeah, no, I'm definitely not using any eyeliner that's old. That's not happening. And it's clearly been opened as well. Yeah, that's a no. Can't do that. Eyeliner is the kind of thing where it's like mascara. That I'm not going to be using old stuff because that's just a bad idea. So I am going to jump into my Hank and Henry eyeliner because this look needs eyeliner. I'm also going to you know, before I do that, because I'll pause and I'll put that on with my mascara and my brows, and I'll be back. So let me just figure out what I'm going to use. Ooh, actually, inner corner highlight. Here we go. I'll use the cottage cheese. That's a horrible name. Jumbo eye pencil from NYX, and it's this guy here, and it's like a really kind of creamy white color, and it's shimmery, which is really nice. So that, yeah, I knew that would be perfect for right there. And it'll stay put nice and easily too, and I don't need to blend it out or worry about it creasing because it's just my inner corner highlight. Oh yeah, I don't know if, yeah, you can see it. You can see it. All right, so brow stuff. Where's the brow stuff? And the brow stuff's up here. I don't think my brows are gonna match today, just as a heads up, because if I'm using my old brow stuff, it really depends on what hair color I had. I do have Espresso by NYX, which is an older guy that I have. And you look blonde. Soft brownie brows. Yeah, that's not gonna work. What about you? You look even lighter. You're blonde brows. Okay. Do we have any brow stuff that's not blonde or light brown? Because that'd be nice. What is it? High definition eyeshadow base. I need to get rid of those because I don't use them at all. Oh, I do have some other bases. What's this? This is the Cella Tantalizing Taupe Eyebrow Cream. Okay. So I think what I'm just going to use is just this NYX Sculpt and Highlight Brow Contour. Because I don't have anything else. And then I'll clean them up with a spoolie. And then we'll come back and we'll go into lips where I'll probably just pull out some of these guys. Though I do also have a ton in these containers here, so we'll see. So give me a moment, I will be right back. All right, and we are back. I feel very weird about my brows. I used to live on this brow pencil. It was like my ride or die. Always used it, loved it. I actually loved that it was like pretty fat for a brow pencil. Like, I don't know if you can see how big it is. Like, it's a lot bigger than your average one. In terms of like width and length and stuff, because most of them are either that like really small teardrop or micro. I loved how big this was because then I could just like throw them on quickly and just like use a spoolie and just brush it out. There we go, brows on great. But I find that I had a really hard time trying to make the tail how I wanted it to. This one came out a lot thicker than this one. This one is more of what I like. Don't love it. I do like that, actually, weird enough, since it's been sitting for a while, it's not as creamy as it used to be. So I actually had to like work it into the hairs a little bit more, so it actually made it more precise than it was. I do like that. The color's also wrong because I have like that really like black blue hair. It doesn't really match that. I like my black pencil, but the pencil itself, not a fan. I'm really happy that they came out with the precise brow pencil because I now live on that thing. So really happy for that. All right, so let me move these palettes away, and actually I can move my brushes out of the way as well and stick them back into their home because it's time for the lips. Okay, so what do I want to do? I have so many random things here. I think I'm gonna go with the ones that I have in my little drawer thing, just because I have no idea how long I've had these for, and I've got some interesting suckers here. I have a mixture of liquid and mostly bullet lipstick, but let me see. I have one liquid. I have the NYX, I think this is Cherry Skies. Yes, it is. Wow. Oh no, I have two liquids. I also have another Lise Watier, and this one is in, is it Eternal Kiss? If I could see. Party Kiss. Okay, I don't know why I have that. I'm pretty sure that's pink. Alrighty, so Oh, and then I have this guy, which I have always loved so much. This is the NYX Vamped Up Lip Top Coat, and it just kind of deepens whatever you put on. So I think I might use this over top of whatever I apply just for fun. What's this? This is Revlon Rose Velvet. Ooh, you're a nice kind of like mauvey brownie shade. Maybe I'll use this with the black because that could be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So, oh, this is pretty. This is like a really nice nude. It's a little bit lighter than I usually go for, but it's really creamy. I've always loved Revlon lipsticks. I'm not a big fan of Revlon as a whole. I also don't buy them anymore because I've gone cruelty free. Again, I don't know how long I've had this. It honestly wasn't used though. This is, and it actually doesn't smell bad at all. Like, it actually smells really good. I think probably because I hadn't opened it. It's just been sitting in here. I really like this. I think I might continue wearing it. I feel like it's a really good lipstick, especially while I'm job hunting and, you know, you don't want to wear neon makeup while you're looking for work. So it's a good option. And then we're going to throw some of this on top. This totally needs to go in the garbage. But yes, it does. Hoo-wee. And now it doesn't smell as bad as some other ones that I've smelled, but it is past its due date. So, as much as I love it, we're gonna be saying goodbye to this today. Oh, this is fun. It's just turned the lipstick gray. It looks actually really nice on camera. In person, actually, I think I like it better in person than on camera. On camera, it looks like I just kind of deepened that kind of neutrally mauvey, and you can see like it's a little bit gray. In person, it has turned completely gray. And it's so nice. But it's not like a deep gray. It's still kind of like borders on that acceptable kind of, not for job hunting, but like for like normal, like a normal makeup kind of day. If I wasn't like doing anything like crazy and I wanted to look a little bit respectable, if I was hanging out with like family or my grandparents who can be a little bit like, why are you wearing blue lipstick? This would be a great option because it has that like a little bit extra to it. It has that gray tone to it. As I said, in person it's even more gray than it is on camera. But it's not too dark. It's not too deep. It's not like a super matte black. I really like it. Really sad to see this go. I think they might still sell them at the NYX store. And we do have one in Oshawa. It opened a couple years ago, so I'm gonna have to go and check and see if they still have it, because now that I'm using it again, I really want to just keep using it. But it doesn't smell like the most vile. But as I said, it definitely is expired. Like, on my lips, I can't smell it, but like when I was here, I was like, oh yeah, okay, you're done. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed me shopping my stash, checking out some older palettes, finding some things that really need to go in the garbage, which is kind of actually comical to me, considering that I reorganized all of this and like cleaned up my old stuff and set it up how I liked it probably a month ago, and I clearly wasn't smelling anything or really looking at things. I was just like, oh, okay, I like you, I'll put you here. So this is giving me the opportunity to be like, okay, me just now do a little bit of a thorough deep dive into everything to be like, okay, are you really good though? Because you're not seeming to be so good. But thank you so much for watching. I had such a fun time doing this. I hope you enjoyed it. And sorry that this is going to be posted so late tonight, just because things were running away from me today. I was doing wedding stuff for a lot of the day today, and then yesterday was a busy kind of write-off day. But I'll have it up tonight, so since you're watching this, sorry that it's up late. But I'll be back again next week. Alright, see you then. Bye.